Have you ever seen one DPS get hit so hard another disconnects? And that wasn't even the first dungeon I read.
I think I'm ready for early Mythic. I have no score yet. We will fix that later.
And so it's time to start the arduous process of applying for keys as a healer. Well, I guess that didn't take long, so it's Red Bull and time to go. And we are off into our first Mythic dungeon of the season, for this character at least, Halls of Atonement +2. I have absolutely no idea what is going on with any of the pulls. I haven't done any research. I don't really know what to dispel unless my bars tell me like that. I think it's a bleed and it got immediately applied back, so I have no clue what's going on. But we're doing our best. We're popping rejuves on everyone we can. We're dropping our efflorescence, and we're hoping that's enough. I don't know the damage patterns or profiles, so I'm not entirely sure exactly what I need to dispel or heal or ramp or do anything. I'm literally just in here doing my best. And it was enough for the first pull. I also hope that I can keep up with the tank, because I've had some issues in Heroic where the tank just runs and then I lose sight of him. I have no clue where he's going, and then we just all die. But can't happen here. I feel like my team would get too upset with me, so I'm gonna stick to the tank like glue, doing my best to keep up life bloom as well. That is one thing. If y'all have any suggestions on how I can keep up life bloom easier with some better form of tracker, because the bar underneath my frames isn't the greatest idea, but it's all I got. I will download whatever add-ons, whatever things I need to do to make it easier. I kind of wish it was just a weak aura I could pop over my character. That'd be nice. But yeah, moving on, we have that big red circle. I hope I'm doing the right thing by dispelling it. I know if it pops, it does damage in that circle. And I know some effects do, when they're dispelled, they do something. I read it really quickly, but I don't think that works that way. I also have never done this route. So Halls of Atonement was a Shadowlands dungeon originally. I played it back in Shadowlands. I've never gone through the middle like this before. We've always just kind of gone left, gone right, then gone to the other one, and hope we killed everything and called it a day. I want to stand in my efflorescence, but I'm not allowed to because of that big red circle that I need to dispel. I'm also suck at looking at my dispel timers on my UI, so I am trying to dispel something that isn't even there. I'm surprised to notice that I'm keeping up with my mana. It's not yeah, I'm clearly using it. I'm probably overusing it, but I'm not overusing it to the point where I have to wait and regen anything for a pull. Getting a little cat form DPS in there too, even if it's only 2 abilities, who cares? I'm doing my best with the damage I don't have. I've also never seen anyone pull this, but I don't know. My main experience with Mythic Plus comes from back in Legion and the Maw of Souls day, where you literally just hit everything and you do 3 big pulls for the entire dungeon, 1 per boss, and call it a day. But I don't think that's the idea for this one here. I just want to keep the Paladin alive. He feels overgeared, I don't have to worry about him. It's everyone else I'm kind of scared about. But both the Demon Hunter and the Warrior are doing damage. So I'm hoping it works. I also need to figure out how to ping. Still don't know how to ping in this game. I know how to ping in League of Legends and how to ping in DFT, but let you know in secrets because they're the same thing. And as we go through, I just don't want to body pull anything that the tank doesn't pull. I don't want to be that healer where it's I think we need to do this. Now I'm just here to keep the group alive and eventually do some damage. I actually managed to dispel the right person that time instead of just dispelling myself. I feel like I can handle it. But I do also need to get better at shifting into bear form when I know I'm about to take big hits of damage. I think it would just be better in general for everything I have going on, but we're hoping that's enough. And I remember this pull back in Shadowlands being kind of scary, because if someone doesn't kick the mob on the outside, then I played Warrior back then, and back in Shadowlands, the only defensive Fury Warrior had was die by the sword on a 3-minute cooldown. So if you used it here, you didn't have it for the boss or for anything else. But thank God for the Death Knight for gripping that thing in. Also, my efflorescence placement could use some work. I've seen J.B. I think he has it on a macro where it pulls, sorry, it doesn't pull, it casts it directly at his feet, like he stands in the center. And I think that would be fine because one, it's a faster cast, I don't have to click. The only thing is I do like having some control over the exact placement. It is kind of weird on places like Dawnbreaker where there's like multiple levels and then I can't cast it above or whatever. But in terms of like here in halls and even in like Floodgate, it's been fine, honestly. Although it's probably for the best if I learn how to use that macro or write it. It's probably just something like show tooltip, cast at location or whatever. Also, we just need to wait like 10 seconds, but instead we're pulling a whole nother pack. So it is what it is. And if I'm seeing this correctly, things are gonna run, they're gonna pull that gargoyle, and then it's gonna pull the other pack, and I'm gonna have to really just work to heal everything. And oh look, there goes the shield to the gargoyle. We pulled the gargoyle. I'm just doing damage. Who cares about Life Bloom, dude? Who cares? Oh, I guess I care. A little dispels. That guy, he's got it going on. What are we doing? Yeah, I don't know either, man. I'm literally just here healing. I'm just here to keep y'all alive through whatever you try to pull. And I'm hoping it's good enough. I also really need like a crash course on what debuffs I need to focus on dispelling. The ones that are on the DPS that blow up and do damage feel like I need to do something. I probably need to dispel the tank debuff at a certain point because I have no idea like what that does on higher key levels, and I'm gonna have to learn eventually. This boss has always been super easy as a DPS. You don't stand in stuff and you hit him, but now I have to like not only be aware of my own positioning, but also be aware of everything on the ground and be aware of everyone else's health bars. It's like kind of a mental thing going on. I like how people are standing in the F-Low though, except for the Demon Hunter, but who needs him? But I think we're kind of screwed when it comes to, yeah, this mechanic here. We have like no space because all the little red things are there. And then it turns back and I'm very confused. But it's fine, we're doing alright. We managed not to get ticked by it. We get ticked by the puddle, but it's not an instant kill on this level. I'm gonna have to get better at that, but we were fine. See, like there, I moved the efflorescence around, and it was, whatchamacallit, like, the little shaky mouse thing is fine when, like, you have time, but sometimes you don't have time. But I do like this where I can kind of, nothing's going out, I don't have anything I need to do, so I can just kind of place it and be intentional with it rather than just being a circle around me, where sometimes I'm not exactly where the healing needs to be. I also need to read my talents more, because I know my rejuve, if I put another rejuve on someone who has it, it does like a bigger pop of healing instantly. Regrowth I think works the same way, or else I just have no idea what I'm doing, which is, you know, could very well be the case. But this pull is never very scary to me. The only thing that scares me are frontals when I was playing my warrior, and I don't remember this having a big terrifying frontal that I couldn't see. Also, fun fact, I did not know I was colorblind for the longest time in my life. I only found out relatively recently, and by recently I mean like two and a half years ago, due to something that happened at work. But I would always wonder why there's certain things like certain frontals that I couldn't see. This one, like, it's gotten better now that I know and have like adjusted things, but it used to be I didn't know that frontal had an animation. I just thought it was like you just had to like watch the cast and know it was going in that direction. But I was getting hit with that thing left and right, so eventually I just started staring at everything else when I was DPSing my warrior. But now this boss, I feel like it's been nerfed because I might be absolutely losing it, but I feel like there was more mechanics back in Shadowlands. I feel like things flew in from the side. Maybe they still do on higher key levels, I don't know. Maybe we just kill things too fast down here. But I swear this fight used to be harder, and I'm not like, back in my day. It's more just, I thought there was more to it, rather than just these little mobs and stuff. But yeah, it was kind of insane. I don't know if that circle is like what it does. I guess it does that. But yeah, it's just, I have no idea what's going on. We're just trying our best, going through the entire dungeon, hoping this works. I actually don't really know either if I need to be doing more damage as the key levels get higher. I'm pretty sure that just healers in general, the damage doesn't really matter too much. Once again, because I'm learning how to play Resto Druid, I've been watching a lot of the bald Resto Druid himself, J.B, and someone in his chat did the math, and in like a 30-minute key, Resto Druid damage saved something like 28 seconds, which to me is not make or break. If you would have had 2 deaths and you have 0, you've already saved more time in a higher key because it's 15 seconds per death, which would be kind of insane. That your damage is worth the equivalent less than 2 deaths. It's almost 2 deaths, but healer damage is worth 2 deaths. So if you can pump more healing to prevent those deaths anyways, especially on a higher key level, I think it would be better. And those deaths would be of things like your tank and your DPS who do infinitely more damage than I could ever do. I also sometimes don't know, like here, I don't know what gives the paladin his shield. I know he's got one. I need to change my UI so I can tell what's behind it. But other than that, and I also don't really know the mechanics of this fight. I need to look. But I think when I get the red circle, I take it to one of the pillars, and when I get the ghosty, I take it to one of the pillars. But I don't know. So I'm just hoping I'm doing the right thing. It doesn't seem like the other guy's taking it to the pillar. It's just kind of damage. So I hope I'm not screwing everything up. Finally remember to press Convoke in the entire dungeon. I also still don't know what Convoke does, though. So it's like, it's a choice. It's definitely a choice. I saw in a talent build I'm supposed to use it. So you take Ghosty to the pylon, and I think that's the right answer. I didn't take damage from it, so I assume it's the right answer. Dodge all the things on the ground, don't hit people with my red circle, and we win. No one died. So I will take it. I will take it. Another sip of the Red Bull. If you can't tell, I'm recording this voiceover later because I'm not too good right now at Resto Druid enough to like talk through my intentions and my goals and what I'm doing while also playing, because I'm doing my best to keep track of things like cooldowns, just like the spell cooldown. Yeah, we have the cooldown manager that shows everything. I suck. I absolutely suck. It just kind of is what it is. So it's all we got. You're going to get post-mortem Frosty is the only way to talk about it. With everyone and their giant shields, we already have enough count. We just have to kill this thing. Like we killed, I think it's because we killed the extra stuff in front of the first boss. I don't think we needed to do that regardless. Yeah. And finally getting back into some damage before swapping back to my cow. I can't wait also until the Harroneer come out because I wanted my Druid to be Harroneer, but they're not out, and I wanted to go ahead and level one because it was easier with time walking and the Winds of Mysterious Fortune and my warband mentoring and all that stuff. And you get a potion during the time walking event that gives you more, so I think I had something absolutely stupid like 60% extra experience or something. Oh, final boss fight should be pretty easy. Dodge the arrows on the ground, soak the red lines when they come out after he, not this red line. This red line is the red line of death. You don't want to stand there. But everything else, like after this, go ahead and pre-pop the F-Low, stand in the middle, and then it's these red lines that you have to soak. And I know that, but I don't know if I'm supposed to soak it because it felt like it did way too much damage. Like I was just absolutely getting crapped on. But I mean, Paladin came in and saved the day. I tranked for it. I don't think I needed to do that. Probably could have just saved it and convoked and called it a day. But it's fine. Let's see if I cast F-Low here again knowing it's gonna pop up. Oh, here's the ritual row. I finally stopped. I do cast F-Flow, not F-Flow, Convoke, no Efflorescence, and I managed to keep everyone alive. I will call that a successful dungeon for the most part. It's a +3. It had really nothing to do with me. I didn't really have to keep everything alive. And then I end up getting a piece of gear that does not really give me an upgrade. I think technically it's like a less than 1% upgrade because I bought some of the pre-patch event gear for that slot in particular. But all in all, very successful first Mythic Plus dungeon with some score. I need to continue this throughout everything, and let's see how it continues in the next couple of episodes. Thanks for watching, and make sure to stay frosty.